September 11th, 2001 is a date seared into the memory of all Americans, but it has special significance to our family because it marks the day Rob was diagnosed with cancer. Cancer with 25% chance of survival. This wasn't how we thought our lives would look at this point. The business was going strong, our kids were married, and our grandkids were a joy in our lives. To think Rob wouldn't be around was unimaginable. Spiritually speaking, I was questioning God with the big why, but Rob didn't question God. Upon hearing the diagnosis, the ensuing plan for treatment was a 14-hour surgery at St. Pat's Hospital in Missoula. We were surrounded by 20 people from our small group, our families, and our friends. God was showing us in tangible, personal ways that He was with us in this, and that He would provide what we needed. Later that fall, while Rob was undergoing therapy in Arizona, I flew home to have melanoma cancer removed from my leg. The battle seemed like it was on all fronts, and we found ourselves surprised at the extent of our suffering. Tumors continued to grow in Rob's jaw to the point where he couldn't open his mouth, so a stomach tube was inserted for feeding. Chemo and radiation treatment started immediately. Halfway through this round of treatment, spots appeared on Rob's lungs. Also about this time, our son Jamie and his wife Angie came in to tell us they were expecting their first child. I looked at Rob and I knew what he was thinking. I'll never see this grandchild. We know how gracious God is because we will be celebrating Barrett's 7th birthday. Through this time, we never wavered in our belief that God knew what He was doing, even if we didn't understand. There was a peace about the future that only comes with a relationship with Jesus. And our experience through these difficult months only served to solidify how faithful Jesus is. The treatments took a huge toll on Rob's health, and for 6 months, Rob was essentially out of commission as far as working was concerned. But he never missed church, even if someone had to hold him up to get him there. Part of God's sustaining for Rob was evident in his buoyant sense of humor. At the Recliner Club, as Rob referred to the outpatient clinic, patients tend to take their anger out on the healthcare workers. Rob made it his job to joke around with nurses and to do what he could to lighten their load. 1 Peter 4:19. Commit yourself to your Creator and continue to do good. Suffering continues. Rob hasn't swallowed anything in 7.5 years. Anemia and shingles, hand and foot damage from chemo plague him. Yet even amidst these trials, Rob and I went to Israel in March of 2007. We were baptized in the Jordan River and renewed our wedding vows in Cana. By November 2008, Rob had been having difficulty getting enough air to breathe. Rushing to the emergency room, Rob was worried that a tumor was growing again. The doctor looked at his airway and found scar tissue growing and effectively closing off his windpipe. The remedy for that was inserting a trach tube, and that meant another adjustment to our daily lives. While the breathing got easier, the iron and sodium levels in his blood continued to leave him weak and feeling crummy. After 4 transfusions, new iron, and salt treatments, Father's Day 2009 rolls around, and Rob gets a new mountain bike. Facing fears that he will feel crummy and not recover from the physical exertion, Rob is hesitant to begin riding. But trusting himself to his Creator and taking the step right in front of him, Rob finds himself breathing easier, gaining 25 pounds, enjoying steady iron counts, and biking 20 to 30 miles at a time. Suffering comes, it is bound to happen. How we respond to it makes all the difference in the world. Rob chooses to remain faithful to God, committing himself to his faithful Creator and continuing to do good for as many days as he has.